My fellow Guyanese, good morning, good day, wherever you are. GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for joining us at the beginning of this week, the middle of December, and for the next several, on the National Outlook, for the next several days, we're going to talk about money. Unfortunately, I don't have any to give to you. I'm looking for some myself. But the amount of money that we've been hearing about is encouraging, and it's also worrying. And I'll tell you why on both counts. First, we heard recently from the Honorable Minister of Housing of about a $1 billion housing project for Region 3 next year. That's a good thing, $1 billion in housing. Then we heard around the same time about $600 million allocated for hinterland road works from Minister within the Ministry of Public Works, Mr. Deodat Indar, and then from the Minister of, I think it's local government, yeah, from the Minister of Local Government, the Honorable Nigel Lall, about $3.4 billion for 136,000 households as COVID relief. I think when that all adds up, that's about $5 billion just for COVID, maybe more. I'm just approximating here. Now here's where these are good things. COVID relief, we're going to talk some more about that later in the week. Housing projects, road projects, and then in that same release from the Minister of Housing, there was further in Region 3 is also set to benefit from a US $100 million water treatment project. 100 million US dollars. Rough calculation, that's about 20 billion Guyana dollars. So billions here and a billion there and a half a billion there. And by my count, we have spent, or we are planning to spend soon enough, between 40 and 50 billion Ghana dollars on some much needed projects. That's the good news. And I'm encouraged that the government has identified these projects across the country and has announced them and is about to start them. Here's the concern now. Here's the downside of that. We're talking about government here. This government, that government, which other government? We're a third world country. With all those billions of dollars splashing around, being spent about on good things, mind you, and I commend the government for this, the PPP government, there is the concern as a taxpayer, as a citizen, and it should be all of ours, that these monies are spent wisely. That these monies for these projects are handled properly, meaning that the people who are put in charge of these things, the people who have to make them happen, must deliver. If they don't, then we'll have the usual nonsense, like what Minister Edgehill is forced to address repeatedly, and we plan to talk about that tomorrow on Tuesday for the airport. We're going to be chasing after people, and people will be chasing after us, the government, for more money to fix the works that they didn't do right in the first place. Road works, housing project, water treatment plant project, lovely things, much needed things. We want them. But every time we want these things and every time these grand announcements come out, we end up somehow falling short. We end up still not addressing what we started out to do, completing it and completing it nicely, completing it in a way that we can look back like the Linden Highway, like the Demerara Harbor Bridge, and say, we've got our money's worth. And that's all I'm saying. I encourage the government, I thank the government for these projects, for earmarking these funds. Now I say, let's get the job done. Let's get these jobs done and get them done properly, correctly, cleanly. Until the next time, this is GHK Lall on Kaieteur Radio 99.1 and 99.5 FM. Thank you for joining us on the National Outlook.